Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sim Racing Online's new series, the USF2000 Awesome Club Track Series. This is round one, starting in Queensland, Australia. We are going to be starting quali here in just a few minutes. Let's get a look at some of the cars coming out. This will be a 10-minute session, I believe, with a 30-minute race. Got some of our favorite drivers here today. Give you a quick look at the names. So you can get familiar with what cars are in. There's Tony Talvite in the blue, Philip Brown in the white there. Got Johnny Gutierrez, gray, Robin Taylor, the blue and, the orange and gray. Then Julian Carr in the yellow and white. There's Carl Starhal in the black. Philip Brown is going to be in the white livery. Andy Tomlinson, that colorful rig of his. Neil Wood in his Dr. Pepper Classic. John Vandergeest in the yellow. John Thomas Holzel in the white and black. Kai Thieverson in the gray. Julian Carr in the yellow and white. Oh, Andrew Harper porting that blue and black and yellow. And we got Carl Sieg. He's sitting in the pit right now, but we got to welcome him back. He hasn't raced in a while. It's good to see him back on the track. All right, Carl. Way to go. And Michael LaBelle, he'll be sporting the yellow and blue. Ben Sumner's in a white livery. And Paul Burnett in that other black number 21. All right, let's get rid of these names. And let's get the timing up there. Let's see what kind of laps these guys are going to be putting in here for this quality session. They should be coming across now for their first time laps. Let's see what we got. Where is Mr. Taylor? He's top of the list. That doesn't mean he's top of the chart yet. It just means that he was out there first. Or signed up first. There we go. The times are starting to come in. Tomlinson with a 112. And Silverton just 9/100ths off him, with the killer off about a second behind him. And Gutierrez some 3 seconds off the pace on his out lap. Don't have any live time anymore, so I have no idea where these guys are on track. I just have to look at the sector markers to see who's who and where's what. Let's check out. Let's see. Woody should be coming across pretty soon. I can see that they've passed sector 2. That's all I can see. Again, just to give you an idea who's who here. There's Bill Brown. There's Woody. Okay. Andrew Harper should be coming across the line here pretty quick. Green and green with a 115. A little bit off the pace. But again, these are the first laps. Get the tires hot. Get it ready to go. Oh, and Gutierrez has put himself atop the leaderboard there with a 111. Burnett taking second place. Silverstone taking third. Tomlinson bumped down to fourth. Just a half a second off. So some really good times coming across now as they've done their warm-up laps and got the tires hot and the brakes hot. Get an idea of how tight this Queensland Australian track is. Guys, you're going to be dueling today. Let's get a little hand action. Johnny. The tight little chicane section here. I'm going to be learning the track along with you here because I am not familiar with it myself. When I went to look at it on Wikipedia, it didn't have any names for the turns or anything. Kind of confused we got here. Follow behind here, and we are currently following Burnett. Nope, we got a yellow in sector 3. Knows what that could be. Target time 1:11. He is some yellow off the pace here. Let's catch up with Tomlinson, who's going to be trying to put the pressure on for that pole spot. He has bumped himself back up into second with this last lap. Just 9/10 off. Good looking car. Gutierrez holding that narrow lead. Phil Brown with a strong run, holding third there. Nicely done, Phil. Hey, we got purple in sector 2 for Andy. He's yellow in sector 1, so, but by 0.50, but 0.124 better in sector 2, so that could improve his overall time. Let's see what happens when he crosses the line. So he's laying that thing sideways. Here he comes now. Let's see what he can do. Oh, slight improvement, but you can see he went yellow in sector 3 as well, but purple in that sector 2, so he's got the sector 2 down. Let's go down the list here, see what else we got, who's coming in. Let's see where Brown is, if he's close to the end of his lap. No, he's just starting a fresh lap. Burnett, he's purple in sector 1, but he is some 3 or 4 seconds off the pace there. So let's check on Talavite. He's green in green. He's a 1:11.7 is that target time, and he is less than a second off, some 7/10 off. And he's green in green. If he can get purple in sector 3, might be able to move himself up a little bit. And he loses a little bit of time in sector 3, spoiling his run there to move up. Gutierrez still holding on to that top spot. Burnett has put Tomlinson behind him now with a brilliant run there, as he had a good one running there. Let's check on Kai Severson. He was really quick in the Porsches. Currently in 6th. In sector 1. Really technical street circuit here. These Aussies are famous for these street circuits. Really kind of Adelaide-like. Great racing over there. Aussie land. Wow, he still managed to stay green in sector 2 there. Kind of looked like he slid a little bit, but manages to hold on to a bester lap for himself as he's taking it a little squirrely there. Let's see what he can do. I believe this is the start-finish line, and no, he has bailed on it there. As Tony, as I told you, did bump himself up into that second spot. Here is Tony. Oh, off the walls, Tony. Oh, he was purple in sector 1, too. Oh, I think we just caught the tail end of him dinging the wall there. So Gutierrez holding that top spot. Talavite coming on strong. Yep, you definitely see that yellow. This is the last lap here with only 40 seconds. That's unfortunate. He had a really good one going there. See if anybody else can put a little pressure on that top the pointy end there. It kind of looks like this is how it's going to be. Krylov. Where is Mr. Krylov? As I don't think with that 0.426 in Sector 2 over, that Televite is going to be able to get the pole. Looking at, let's see, Andy's in. Okay. Yep, yellow and yellow. Pick on Krill. Okay, it looks like anybody out there on a hot lap. Let's see, they're coming across now. Almost in yellow in Sector 1. Yep, he's off and running. Okay. Paul Burnett is in the pits. Talvite's in the pits. Gutierrez is in the pits. So these guys are content. Let's see what these mid-packers, if they can find themselves up. Nope, these guys are... I'm just looking at showing them on track still, but not running laps. So Neil Wood would be the last one out there, I think, with alongside it, and he's given up too. So there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your poll right there. Let me see if I can mark this. Right. The starting order is set. Here of the area. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. There's pit lane right there. Okay. So now we're going to go into the 5-minute warm-up session. You can bear with me here for this new series. This is going to give them a chance to get out there, perhaps with a full load of fuel. It is only going to be a 30-minute race, so it's basically a sprint to the finish for these guys. Curious to see how it's going to pan out. This tricky little circuit. 30 minutes of wheel-to-wheel, open-wheel action. A little bit different than our last series in the Porsches, where you had a little bit of fender bender room. Not such is the case here. You know, you put a wheel into another driver, it could end your race. So it's going to be dicey at best. Let's take a look at the schedule we have for this series while we got a minute here. So this is round 1 in Townsville, and then we're going to Goodwood in the UK for a round 2, October 7th. And then we go to La Pige Porsa track on the 21st of October. Each one of these races are 2 weeks apart. And then we get to Pekarniki in November 4th. And then the Niva Ring. And then finishing up in Russia, I think, is Vart Reshkvach Diesel-Kleidenstein on December 2nd. So, really, John Vandergeest put this series together, and he named it the Awesome Track Series. So it looks like we've got quite a few awesome tracks to race on here. So it should be interesting. Let's see what we got here. These guys heading out. There we go. Let's get a little bit of action. Know who's who for a sec there. What guys out on track? See if the leaders are out running laps. There's Gutierrez is in the pits. Talvite, he's out practicing a start right here. Get an idea what it looks like for him on that start. See, these cars, not the quickest off the line. These are lower horsepower, kind of like Formula 4s, almost, or a Formula Ford kind of thing, the USF2000. Fun car to race, though. The guys seem to be having a good time with it. Tomlinson's in the pits. Krill also getting a little out of the pits there. Maybe a little practice start. Taking it from a dead stop. Taylor's in the pits. Phil Brown getting a couple warm-up laps in. Kai Silverstone's in the pits. Carl Where is... Did Stieg back out? It looks like Stieg has backed out. He was in the practice session, moving to quali, but it looks like he's had to drop. That's unfortunate. It was really good to see him, though. I was hoping he can make it back and race in the next run. Ben Sumner's in the pits. Michael LaBelle still in the pits. Andrew Harper. Here he is. Andrew Harper getting a little start practice in. Get a good idea to figure out how these babies are going to take off the line. Let's see how much time we got left here. Looks like a couple of minutes left. A lot of tricky hairpins. It's going to be interesting to see if these guys can keep off each other in this. It's going to be difficult. You know, there's a lot of cars and not a lot of space. A lot of these turns, you can only go single file. See what's up. Got Phil Brown's out there on a ripper every lap. It's actually purple in sector 2 on his timing. That he's chasing Taylor around. All right, so as time winds down here, let's get a look at our starting order. So here's how it's going to be. On pole position, Johnny Gutierrez, followed by Tony Talavite and Paul Burnett in the top 3 spots. Bring it up in the number 4 spot. It's Krill Kurloff, Robin Taylor in 6th, Phil Brown in 7th, and Kai Steverson holding the 8th spot. That's the first half of the grid. Starting in 9th is Carl Strohal and Thomas Hansel, Jean Vandergeest in 11th, and Neil Wood in 12th. Last series Porsche champion, Neil Wood. Then in 13th we have Julian Kerr, Andrew Harper in 14th, Michael LaBelle in 15th, and Ben Sumner's bringing up the tail end in 16th. And there you have your starting order for round 1. Townsville. Pretty cool stuff. The kind of views we got here. Looks like I'm gonna do practice a little start there. Not a bad idea. As time is winding down, I think warm-up has ticked away, and we are getting ready to be underway here. The session is over. The next sound you hear will be all non-essential personnel leave the grid now. As all of you know that have watched these videos, it's one of my favorite sayings in sim racing. All the way back to the R Factor 1 days.
Attention grid, all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
There it is. It's just brings chill to the spine of my family when they hear that, because they know all hell's going to break loose soon. All right, so let's get these guys out on grid. There we go. Give you a quick shot with the labels again, just to give you an idea who's who and where they are and their numbers. Got somebody in the pits there. Okay, they're showing 18, and they are going on the formation lap. So this race does have a form lap, and we're just finding that out. I'm sure the information was there, but yeah, there we go. Get a good look at the lads as they headed around, probably for the last time under ease, because they will be in a full attack mode once this thing kicks off. I don't know about the tire. I think it's a default tire. Everybody has the same tire, so you can either use this tire or the wet tire. And I don't think we have any rain in the forecast. Back up, look at the middle of the grid here. Back in Here is Andrew Harper back here in 14th in that blue and black Mazda. Ben Summers is in 16th. Sporting the white and red with Carl. Oh, there's Carl. Carl made it back in. All right, Carl. So he must have had a disco. He was not on the list. But hey, Carl, you're back. All right. Good deal, man. There he is in the number 20. Right on. You made it in. All right, back to the pointy end. Here are your top three. As we are getting ready for the checkered. Let's hope for an uneventful start. See if we can get these guys off the line and keep everybody in one piece. I don't know. It's open wheel racing. If you're familiar with open wheel racing, there's always some kind of carnage can happen at any time. You just don't know. But we are set as the cars take their grid position. They're ready to hit the gas in anger. See how this pans out. Waiting for the horns. And we are racing in round one in Townsville. Looks like the top half got off in pretty good shape. Let's see what happens when they get to turn one. Oh, we got carnage in the back. Carnage in the back already. Holy smokes, I see pieces and parts back there. Things are flying. Oh no, this is not good. For the end, we got more carnage in the mid, more pieces and parts. Holy smokes, it's a yard sale back there. Get your USF2000 parts at the used store, straight from Townsville, right to your junk dealer. Oh my gosh. Do we have everybody still on track is my question. Here's the top pointy end. Let's check the back end here. Who's got, looks like we got Carl. Is he missing a wing? It looks like he's intact. Carl's got all his pieces and parts. Vanderkees could have taken the run out of the areas. John, not too bad on the visual part of it, but obviously he's in bad shape. He's making his way around to the pit. All right, as we make our way back up to the pointy end, and there is your top 5, 6, 7 cars right there. As we come around, Johnny Gutierrez is holding the lead with Tony Talavite right behind him, and Paul Burnett following him with Andy Tomlinson, Krylov, and Taylor in that order after lap 1. So most unfortunate to see these guys get through. So it looks like Julian Kerr also took some damage. Excuse me. Yeah, the winglet tips are gone. Looks like he's got some suspension damage and some steering damage, but he's made it into pit lane, so that's good. As we get back to the pointy end here, making it through this tight section, up on this chicane. See Gutierrez up in front, Talavite. Wow. Let's check back with the mid-pack boys. Here is Phil Brown, Neil Wood, and Carl Strohal. Oh, we have another car off right behind him. Who was that? Oh, we got an incident here. Oh, with Strohal. Oh, and Tom Hodsell mixing it up, getting it a little twisty there. Let's hope they can stay in it. Excuse me. He's coming into the pits. Wow, so the carnage continues as expected. Open wheel racing is not for the faint at heart, I'm telling you. These cars are actually pretty durable, but man, when you hit the wall, your steering gets bent. There's no worse feeling than you know that your day is going to be tough. We got some action going on in here as Wood's trying to defend there. Let's bring the tower up now. We've got a couple laps in and we'll see who's who and where they are. Here we go. Okay. You can see we're following Woody now in that 9th spot, so he's worked himself up into the top 10. We got Vandergeest still in the pits. Kerr is in the pits and Stieg is in the pits. and Strohal is in the pit. So we've got 4 cars under repair right now. And there is Andrew Harper currently in 12th as we go up the line. Sumners is in 10th, just ahead of him there. A couple cars in between. And then back to the point. Oh, we got, what was that? Holy smokes. Was that LaBelle getting sideways? I believe it was. Sumners and LaBelle. Sumners was getting sideways there. So these guys are in that battle for the top 10. Okay, now let's get to the tip end. Look at this pressure we got here. Got Burnett all over Televite. And Tomlinson all over Burnett, while Gutierrez is enjoying a little bit of a gap there. He's got that just over a second gap, almost 2-second gap, to keep himself comfortable, while these guys behind him are just duking it out. That's it, the first 5 minutes of this race. But we've had a lot of action, a lot of pinging off the walls. Hopefully these guys are going to repair and get back out. Yes, I do believe they're coming back out. So, it looks like Carl Stieg is back out. He's back in action. Ronalds is back in action. Kerr is back in action. Not so much for Vandergeest. He's hitting almost 2.5 minutes of repair so far. All right, back to the pointy end. Here's a quick shot to see who's who. There you go. And Burnett is just giving Televite the business there. With Tomlinson just kind of waiting in the background, waiting for something to break there in front of him. And it looks like Gutierrez might be coming up. That could be Stieg that he's coming up on. He's coming, or Kerr. One of the back markers, I think. Give it a quick view here to see who that is. Yep, it's Strohal. Okay, so out of the pit, Strohal. Hopefully he's in good enough shape where he can hold his position and not go a lap down. However, with a 30-minute sprint, I don't know how long he can hold off Gutierrez. There is no holding back. They're not going to be trying to save tires or anything. So there is Gutierrez coming up on Strohal. But these guys right here, Tomlinson battling out. And then we had a pretty good battle going on down here with Severson and Brown in the 7th and 8th spot. There's somebody that was off there. Taylor and Severson, the 4th and 5th. So somebody went, who was that went down? Was that Burnett? Oh my gosh, it was Paul Burnett. He crashed from that 3rd place, 4th place battle and now finds himself at the back of the pack. We missed that. He must have hit the wall because that has moved Krylov now up into 3rd. Taylor some 3 seconds behind. So that spread him out a little bit. That took the pressure off of Televite. Obviously, he must have had a miss-up. Sorry we missed that. Maybe we can read about it in the post-race. I don't dare try to go backwards. As we are hitting 22 minutes remaining. And we have our first DNF of the race. Phil Brown is out. So he was also competing up there. So something must have happened at the pointy end when we were looking away. Missed that action. So that moves everybody up. We find Woody in 6th place now. Tomlinson dropping down. Where is he? Andy now is also, he has to pit too. So some trouble. Is he actually pitting for damage or was that a drive-through? It looked like a drive-through, so maybe he was the one. Maybe he punted Phil or something up there. I don't know. We'll have to find out. Sorry, I missed that. Meanwhile, back at the pointy end, there is your leader, Gutierrez, ahead of the blue Televite by some 1.5 seconds. You can see him back there. Guess Tony's got a view here. There's the gap to first place and second place. Let's see what other kind of views these cars have on them. I believe there's a side view. Closes up a little bit on the turn. I think there's actually a back view too. Let's see if we can get the shot from the aerial. Okay, there's an over the top. That's pretty cool. See what else we got here. Then there should be that back wing view. So there's a couple of cool views here. And then the straight to the back. And then the over the wing one. That's the one I was looking for the battles when there's cars behind them. For instance, let's see. Yeah, these guys are not chasing too far. So anyway. All right, back to the front. Taylor in fourth. Chasing Krylov. Krylov on Strohal's tail. That 4-second gap. So check out Burnett in the pit. He's still in the pits getting that repaired, and he's about ready to come out. There he comes. Okay, so Paul Burnett is back in. Let's see. Julian Kerr is back in the pits, but looks like he is also coming out. And we have, I think, Vander Geese back on track, so that's good to see John back out there. Way to go, John. Hang in there. It's never too late. It's a long season. And it looks like Kerr got a penalty, so probably be speeding in the pit, so we might be seeing him go back in. As there is Kai Saberson in battle for fourth place with Robin Taylor. And that Gutierrez continues to increase his lead. He's got almost a 4-second gap now to Tony. So we might be looking at tire wear in the future here. You can't even see Tony. Gary is just in the very foreground. All right. So, and Telvite's got a couple of seconds on Krylov. He's got, let's see, I think Taylor, you know, he's that big gap, 11 seconds back to Taylor. So, and that Strohal is a lap car. So here is Taylor and Kai are definitely in a battle here for fourth place. Unless that is also lap traffic. Yeah, see, there's Kai and Taylor, fourth and fifth respectively. So this is the closest battle as we speak now. Get a little look here. Suspension on these cars is pretty cool. This R Factor 2 is pretty amazing. For as old as it is, it's just a great all-around sim. We got 2 DNFs now. Brown has called it a day, and so has Burnett. So 2 of our top 5 drivers are out. Philip Brown and Paul Burnett both out of this race for round 1. But you know what? That's racing, and that's open wheel racing. It's part of the deal. I mean, there's always attrition in these type of races, so just how it rolls. We got Gutierrez here. Was actually looking at my timing. His best lap is an 1:11.8, which is purple. So he's got fastest lap of the race as well as holding on to the lead. So let's see what's up there with that. He's got that 4.5 second gap over Tony Dalavite. And then Krylov, some 6 seconds back of Tony. So the leaders have got it spread out here, but we have a really good battle here for the top spot here. 5th and 4th position are fighting. Getting it tight in there. We also have Andrew Harper and Hodsell back here. This is a battle for 9th and 10th. So this is also a nice battle here. Let's see what we got. Less than a second between them. Thomas does a really good job closing in on the chicane there. Good stuff. As we are about a minute away from halfway, let's take a quick tour up the line. We have a couple of DNFs. We do have Vandergeest holding the 16th spot. He's 351 seconds behind Paul Burnett. But as we know, Burnett has DNF, so once he gets another lap, he will take that position. Vandergeest will move himself into 15th. Julian Pear still in the race, holding on there in 14th. There is Carl Stieg in 12th and Strohal in 13th. So Stieg has managed to get himself up to there just by being on the road and not having any damage. Andy Tomlinson, one of our top 5 contenders, staying in the battle. He's got himself up to 11th, so he can maybe work his way into that top 10. Although Andrew Harper has got almost a 2.5 second lead on him, which is actually pretty good for considering Andy had to do that drive-through. And that is a great looking car too. I like staying on it. It's a nice looking car. Let's see what he's got here for the wheel. Look at that Reflecto, really nice. All right, nice job. All right. Now back up to the battle for 4th. We have some smoke coming out of. Whoa, baby. Okay. It looks like Taylor has used a little bit too much of a closed radiator because he is definitely overheating. And we are at the halfway point. So Taylor showing that he's on the gas. He's got to have overheating problems. Let's see, can we get it? We're not going to be able to get any view of his gauges. Does it show him anything on the wheel there? I don't think we're going to see anything on the wheel to indicate that he is overheating, but he is overheating. He's definitely overheating. You can see it right there. So probably went with a little bit too much radiator, and that could open the door for Ty to take that 4th spot because I don't see him maintaining that car. Meanwhile, the 9th and 10th position is being contested here. Tomlinson and LaBelle. Andrew Harper coming in tight, looking for that 10th spot over Tomlinson. Things heat up here with 13 minutes remaining. But I'm really curious here with this battle of overheating car. Yeah. And of course Neil Wood is not too far behind these guys either. But Kai's got to be getting a face full of oil. Yes, indeed. It's got to be tough on him. Get his driver's view. And who's that in front of him? Okay, that's Carl Strohal, lap car. So lap traffic. You guys are coming up on lap traffic. Okay. Look at that. Down the straight is where that's going to kill him with the heat. He might be okay in the turns when he's lifting, but you can see he's definitely overheating down the straight. Oh, how long will that engine hold together? She's going to blow at any time. I think. Look at it. Yeah. Kai is putting the pressure on him now. I don't see Robin being able to keep that baby lit for another 12 minutes. He's going to have to lift, and that's going to let Kai around. But hey, you know, maybe it's just in it to win it. Just keep it on the floor until she blows. I don't know. We'll see what's up there. We got to go back and check this back battle here now. Here's the boys back here fighting for that top 10. We got Andrew Harper bringing up. Oh, and somebody's digging up the wall. McBell digging the wall, and Harper gets the spot. Just as we checked on him, that was really unfortunate for LaBelle, who was holding up a great race, having himself in 10th. Really good spot for him, but lets it through. And Tomlinson will be next for Harper. And LaBelle has just that must have ruined his car because he is out of the race now. So LaBelle hits the wall, loses the spot, and he's down and out. Most unfortunate for Michael, he was having a really good race sitting up there in the top 11 cars. All right, meanwhile, back to the exhaust issue. That the EPA has called, and Robin Taylor is going to be investigated for pollutants in this race. I think he'll be able to weasel his way out of it, but they're going to smog his car, and they're going to be waiting for him at the end here. See what happens. Okay, up at the pointy end, it's just a walk in the park for Gutierrez as he comes up on some more lap traffic here. The idea, that's Carl Stieg doing a good job staying in 12th, but Gutierrez about to put Carl a lap down, perhaps in a lap or two. Then we got Talamiti. You can see him in the background there. So here is Tony. And Krill just some 3 seconds behind him. So we might have a little bit of action here for the podium as Krylov holding that third spot, and he's some 3 seconds behind. But then it's a big gap to Taylor, as you can see. So I don't think there's anything to stop this podium without it being a crash or a blown engine, which we might see right here with Taylor. As we hit the 10-minute mark, there is Robin Taylor in that overheating car. I mean, it's one thing cool. I like that with our Factor 2. You get that damage. It's going to last a little while, but he's not going to make it, I don't think, to the end if he doesn't start lifting. All right, back to the top 10. This is a great battle here. Thomason looking for the move on the inside. He's got the inside. He's going to take it. The next turn's coming up as right-hander, so Thomason moves himself up into 8th. Brilliant racing after the drive-through. He's got himself through the top 10, up into 8th now. Hospital in the 9th position. We got Harper behind them in 10th. But he is some 20 seconds off, so there must have been some more ping-ponging off of the walls back there when we missed for this mid-pack, because they were all pretty tight there a few laps ago. And now it has spread out. Here is Andrew. Yeah, he's some 18 seconds behind Hansel for 9th, but he is in a solid 10th spot there with Stieg some 2 laps down. So there is your top 10. Meanwhile, back to the smoking gun that is Robin Taylor. I'm telling you, I've had many years of R Factor and R Factor 2. When that baby starts smoking, your days are numbered. The only thing that's in his favor is the clock. With 8 minutes left, if he manages to be able to lift enough on the turns, he could be able to hold that thing together long enough to keep his position. But I'm thinking Ty. There he goes now. That could have been it. That could have been the engine right there. Could have just blown. I think there she goes. And that's going to be it for Taylor. Most unfortunate. He'll be putting that radiator up a couple notches for next race, I believe. I mean, you can get a lot of downforce and be able to get a little bit of speed out of it. But, man, lesson learned for Mr. Taylor. Unless, of course, it was damaged. It could have also been damaged, but I'm guessing that he had that radiator set a little bit too tight, trying to squeak that little bit of extra tenths out of those laps. And that puts Taylor as our 4th car to DNF today. As he gets lapped, he will drop down in the paces. That's going to move people like Carl's going to come up to 11th. Great news for Mr. Stieg. And for Mr. Strohal, bumps him up into 12th, more points. And Mr. Kerr will be jumped up. And Vandergeest, who's down there, is finding himself crawling up the leaderboard due to attrition. So as they have become bottom feeders today, they are beginning to move themselves up to get a nice chunk of some points. Take a look from Vandergeest here. He's a lap down, but still chasing. Oh, as Gutierrez has a new best lap of 1:11.791. So as fuel runs out, here is Gutierrez now. As the fuel runs out and we're down to the 6-minute mark. So it's purple and purple in his last lap. So that's not good news for Talavite, who is trying to chase him down and is now 2.5 seconds plus behind, but holding a steady race. Being very consistent. He can just finish like this. He's got some good second place points. And Krill managing third. All three of these guys have had a pretty solid race. No mistakes as of yet as we hit the 6-minute mark. And Kai inheriting fourth from the misfortunes of Robin Taylor and that overheat. And it could have been damaged because if you get hit from the rear, the car engines are in the rear, so he might have got bumped into. I don't know. We'll have to see him in the post race and see what's up. So the tightest battles we have are for Andy Tomlinson is in 6th, and Sumners and Hansel are battling back here for 7th and 8th. And they are even, the gap is about 4 seconds. So it's not terribly intense on the laps, but that is the closest battle so far. Let's see if I can get this lap times. I'd like to change that. Gap to leader, gap to next. There we go. We're going gap to next. That'll fix that. As the crowd, you can hear the crowd cheering for Ben there as he's managed to. He's got some fans there, friends and family. And here is Talavite, got second place car. Been looking good all race. See Krylov right behind him there, closing the gap a little bit. And that lap traffic letting him through. Krill in the red car. I believe that was probably Carl back there, 11th. So, and Neil Wood, last series champion in that Dr. Pepper livery, now finds himself in the top 5 and battling for a possible spot. He could catch Kai if he's some 6 seconds to go. And I believe they got lappers in between. Yep, I'll say that. Yep. So he's in between a couple of lap cars right there, Stieg and Strohal. And Julian Carr is about to get his lap back from the retired Robin Taylor, which will move him up into 12th. So they're all moved up a little bit here. Summers. Let's see, I'm looking for any close battles. Looks like Krylov has closed the gap. About 2 seconds now on Tony. So if we hit the 3-minute mark, I'm wondering how the tire wear is on these guys. We'll have to see. We don't have a tire wear monitor, but we'll probably get some info in the post race to find out exactly what was going on here. There is your gap to second. Kai Severson in that 4th spot is some 13 seconds back. So with the amount of time left, we're just under 3 minutes. Oh, Talavite off the wall. Did you see that? Holy smokes. Let's see if he's got any damage. Is Krylov going to be able to close in? We've watched Tony right there. So that's telling me these tires might be showing a little bit of wear. Tony is not the type of driver that bounces off walls. So that could have been something. Let's check him out. Let's see if he's got any steering damage or anything. I don't see any bent steering. So it looks like he's okay. These cars are pretty durable. Look at that. A little twitchy there coming out of those chicane hairpins. And what happened to, Krylov? He's closed the gap to 1.8. So perhaps Tony is feeling the effects of the duration of this race. Excuse me. We could be closing in here to take that second spot, points away from Talavite. Meanwhile, Gutierrez It's another drive in the park, coming up on some lap cars as he throws it around there, pops a wheel in the air. Anyway, let's get back to this second place action, as the gap is now 1.7. Seems to be holding that gap though, so it doesn't look like it's any kind of hardcore damage that he might not be able to endure for the next minute and 10 seconds or whatever seems to be left there. Right, we are approaching the last lap here. Let's get down here to the bottom. We got Vandergeest, who found himself in 13th. Way to hang in there, John. Coming out of the pits, Julian Kerr in 12th. Both of these guys had damage and were seriously damaged on lap 1 and in the pits. And they've come back and kept that top 14 cars. There is Stieg in 10th place. And Krylov gets the fastest lap of the race right there out of 3rd position. So let's jump back up and see if he has closed that gap. 1.1 now to Tony. Okay, they're going to cross the line, and it's going to be a drag race for the last lap here. I believe they are now in Sector 3. Or did they cross already? 28 seconds left. It's really hard to tell without a track map. Yep, Gutierrez. Okay, Gutierrez is in Sector 2. Here he is all by himself. So these guys are just now coming up to Sector 2. So the race is on from second place. And Kirill is right there. He's got the less than a second. If we had DRS, he'd have it right now. So Talavite holding on to the line here. This is the last official lap. So Gutierrez is going to cross. Here he goes. There's your winner, Gutierrez. And here comes the battle for second. And it looks like Tony's going to hold on and get that second place, with Kirill taking 3rd. Beautifully done. Nice job, you guys. And here comes Kai Steverson. Going to take 4th with some 7-second gap over Woody. And Woody will be very happy with that 5th place, I would imagine. Starting mid-pack. So here comes Woody around the final turn. Taking the 5th place spot. There he is. And Tomlinson, a really nice job for Andy after making that pit. We don't know exactly what happened, so we'll find out in the post-race. It looked like he did do a drive-through, so perhaps he was guilty of something. We don't know. Doesn't have a lot of damage, but he did have a nice finish in 6th to come back. Ben Sumner's really nice job, taking 7th. Good job, Ben. And then we got Thomas Hotzel, who has taken 8th and is already retired in the pits. Andrew also in the pits already. And Carl Stieg coming through in 10th place. Nice job, Carl. Way to go. I think it's Carl's first race back, at least on one of our broadcast races. Harper taking 9th. Good job, Andrew. So here comes Carl. And with, I think, Strawhal is right behind him in 11th. But a lap down, so good job. He's done. Okay, his lap is done. Looks like these guys are taking a little victory lap here. So there you have it, everybody. There is your finishing order. Gutierrez, Talavite, Krylov, Stiverson, Woody, Tomlinson, Sumners, and Hotzel. Harper and Stieg, the top 10. And then Strohal, Kerr, Vandergeest. Excuse me, the last of the live cars. Finishing it up. And then there are your DNFs, Taylor, LaBelle, Burnett, and Brown with the DNF. So, wow, what a round 1, ladies and gentlemen. That was really a lot of fun. I hope it was as fun for you as it was for me. And I hope to catch you on the next one. So, adios, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.